I learned a lot. I changed a lot. I'm not hungry. I'm not suffering. I'm not starving or anything like this. I lost, I think 6.5 kgs, gained some muscles on top even through that period. I really feel great.
Welcome back, Robin Good here, and I'm standing right here. We're both standing with one of my clients, Thomas, who just achieved a great milestone in his transformational journey, body transformation journey. And we wanted to jump on here to share his story a little bit, his background, where he's coming from, and obviously what kind of results he got in the meantime. So yeah, let's dive right into it. Thomas, thanks for taking the time. Maybe you want to do a quick introduction about yourself. Who are you and what are you doing?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Robin. So yeah, guys, I'm Thomas. I will call myself a busy entrepreneur, as probably a lot of you guys. So running a business, long days, traveling quite a lot. Besides that, having a family, so very engaged with that, loving it.
Great. Obviously, the classic busy lifestyle, like juggling many balls at the same time. And there were obviously also some challenges that you were facing because there was a reason why we started all this. So you maybe want to talk a little bit about that. Like, how did your situation look before we got you started?
I came out of a knee injury, nothing too bad, but still something that took quite a while to kind of heal out. And I wanted to get back in my usual routine, playing tennis, do some running. And it was really, beginning of this year was really struggling with that, getting back to that, didn't find time. So I don't have the constitution to add kind of a lot of weight, but it's just like, if it adds up in the wrong places. I was also kind of fed up to just like download another app and read another book and get going. So yeah.
And what exactly did you want to work on?
The initial thought was really to feel good again. Really to get back in shape, lose some weight, not too much was not my primary goal as such, but still like get back to a place where I feel comfortable.
Totally. And that's also what we did. Like I remember focus goal was like to drop some extra pounds, to get fitter, to maybe also increase the energy levels to a certain degree that, especially as an entrepreneur, you want to manage your energy properly. You want to, when you sit down and when you go into it, like that you're really grinding it out and not like, running on low batteries.
Yeah.
This is the worst thing. So maybe you want to talk a little bit about like kind of realizations or things that we implemented into your situation that were kind of a little bit like, gave you a little bit of a new insight.
Definitely, like, and that was from day one onwards was the change in nutrition. Mm-hmm. So as I said before, I wasn't really expecting that, but it does make so much sense. So and I also realized like I don't really have a plan around that. So also like the approach to kind of get feedback from the whole group, get feedback from you, send the food logs, and really also get challenged on how you do things. So that was for me really, I would say overall one of the biggest learnings over that whole period of the 4 months. Yeah, I really have to say I learned a lot. I changed a lot. I'm doing so many things differently. So really, all those kind of routines at the beginning where you have to think a lot, is like, okay, what's next now? What should I do? That really worked out quite well. I'm not hungry. I'm not suffering. I'm not starving or anything like this. So
beautiful. Yeah, because I see that also over the time because so many people think they have to exercise their weight or like the fat off, right? Running and doing endless cardio. And like, then on top of that, the classic, I know what to do. I know how to eat healthy. I know that salads are healthy and I know that apples are healthy and I know what I should eat, but it's still how you implement it, that you're not starving, that you're still having the flexibility, that you're still be able to, like you go on business travels, go out, eat out with your family, have that flexibility in place. Yeah, that's where the challenge comes into place. So I'm super happy that you've been able to master that. Now, obviously, also curious, what kind of results have you got in the meantime? Want to share that?
I really feel great, right? So after those 4 months, even going in and not having the ambition to lose a ton of weight, I lost overall at the end, it was between 6 and 7, I think 6.5 kgs, right? In the right places, I would say. So around the belly, right? Body fat, right? Gained some muscles on top, even through that period. So, but I didn't do it like for the looks, right? too old for that. But the point was, right, to get back to a place where I feel good, where I can manage my energy, where I also know what is important for me. So I learned a lot about myself.
Beautiful, beautiful. I'm always super happy to see like the results and everything. And we talked a little bit about before and also compared the pictures before and after. We can maybe put a picture up right here, how that looks like. And we also did some measurements, right? -6 centimeters on the waistline, plus 2 centimeters on the guns, on the arms. So yeah, you can lose fat and gain muscle at the same time. It is possible. And yeah, we just proven that here again, which is a very great thing. And I think the pictures speak for themselves. Beautiful. Okay. And now if you could say, like, what was the single biggest achievement or learning that you had throughout the coaching?
I say twofold. From a content perspective, for me, definitely was the nutrition. So it's literally, I was starting from a point where there was a lot to learn, but it also, I was surprised how easy that felt to change that. And there was so many inputs I got from your recipes, from the wider group, right? To try out new things, had a lot of support at home for that as well. It fits the time as well, right? To kind of start eat differently. And from an approach perspective, what I really, really liked, and I think is a brilliant idea, is there's no cheating, right? It's a treating mechanism. So you're still allowed to do stuff that you really enjoy, that you otherwise you're going to suffer, that you know. And from an approach perspective, that's brilliant. And I think that helped me also to get through that. Yeah, through a lot of changes.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, just to like clarify it a little bit, like cheat meals, this is so common out there, right? Like, oh, I have to get my cheat meal in, and like my coach allowed me to cheat once a week. That's why we do differently here. We think cheating make symbols that you cannot stick to it in the long run, so you have to cheat on it, and something negative. That's why we're going to call it the treat meal, because you're rewarding yourself for being good, for giving yourself the right nutrients, to feeling good. And in all honesty, you can easily fit in those treats, those, how others will call it, cheats, and still be healthy, be fit, make progress, and look great, like Thomas does. So very well done. Great job here. Super proud of you as well. And yeah, thanks for taking the time to sharing your story here. Really appreciate it. And yeah, that's from us. Hope you enjoyed this one, and see you next time.